Hetepu, assalamu alaikum, namaste. Haroon Effer, this is Qesankh Keperu with another video for you. And in this video, we're going to explore who is Ausar or Osiris. But before I do that, I want you to hit the like button on this video. If this is your first time to my channel, hit the subscribe bell to get notifications on when I go live and when I upload recorded videos. If you're interested in knowing more about my spiritual teachings, you can become a Patreon supporter for as little as $8, $5, or $20 per month. It's up to you. There's no obligation, and you can cancel at any time. And if you become a subscriber, you will get exclusive access to videos, instructional videos on the spiritual, on the esoteric, videos that will teach you how to meditate properly, how to breathe properly, how to create a magical amulet, how to invoke spirits for your protection, how to contact the ancestors, how to do astral projection, and so much more. So become a Patreon supporter today. Last but not least, share this video with family and friends so we can get the revolution started. So Haroon Effer, assalamu alaikum, namaste, grand rising. How are you doing out there? I want to talk about a very important subject that kind of hit me when I was meditating last night, that not many people understand. You see, in the Western world, we're taught a very left brain, two-dimensional way of learning. So let me give you an example. When you read the Bible, you read the mistake is they try to make the Bible seem like a 6,000-year-old history book, but it's not. But the characters are just that, just characters, two-dimensional characters in the book who, may have existed at one time. But that is as far as it goes, because the left brain it can be very, I hate to use this word, but I'll just say superficial in its approach. Whereas when we start engaging the right brain, as our ancestors did in ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt, we get a more deeper, not only a deeper refined understanding of the characters, but we get a ma'at relationship, an interdependence and an interrelationship that only comes through cosmological thinking. You understand? So the characters just are not just there as characters, but they relate to one another and they're interdependent upon one another. You can't have one without the other. For example, you can't have Tahuti without having Ma'at. But when you look at the Christian Bible, there's no real relationship between many of the characters. The only relationship that they did approach in a type of cosmological way was the Son, the Holy Ghost, the Spirit, that type of thing. The tri-union. So that is the only case in point that they really tried to engage holistic right brain thinking. Other than that, it's just a bunch of characters that you remember their names. Now, looking at our religion and what we created, when you look at the story of Ausar and Set, or more appropriately called sometimes the Osirian drama, you will see that not only do those characters greatly depend upon one another and interdependent between each other, but they signify something very, very important about how we work and our connection to the universe. And so when you start to look at Ausar, you're not just studying a character. You're not just saying that, well, he's the god of the dead or the god of corn or the god of the underworld, or the god of resurrection. Again, those are just labels and names and definitions that Sebek, your left brain, imposes upon the character. But from a right brain perspective, the more deeper implication is that we understand that Ausar is the indwelling intelligence. What is the indwelling intelligence? It's God. It's God within you. God placed her consciousness within you to have an experience in this third density plane. Do you understand that? So Ausar is not just a two-dimensional character. Ausar or Osiris holds deep implications as to how you function in connection with all. And this from the Medunater, this is the Medu meaning the card here, is Ausar holding the crook and flail and the crown of Upper Egypt. And it's Ausar Hetep. Now, it is important for us in the Kemetic spiritual tradition to build a relationship or to contact that Ausar, that indwelling intelligence within us. Because therein lies our power. And the way to contact Ausar or form that relationship is to allow Ausar to rise within you. This is the resurrection of the Christian religion of Jesus. Jesus was Pisces. Again, that whole religion, the whole Bible is based on astrotheology. Jesus is the fish, the two fish of Pisces. We're now going into the Aquarius era, which is the water bearer. We're coming out of Pisces, and we're in the so-called last days, which the Christians misinterpreted as the end of the world and all of that, doomsday. But no, on the zodiac sign, we're coming to the end of Pisces and ushering in the end of Aquarius. And so we see that which is within us is an intelligence that we can communicate with in order to gain wisdom and power. That was the basis of the Kemetic spiritual religion, if you want to call it that, or spiritual tradition. It was never about just learning historical dates and names and figures like Jesus, Mary, and then what happened back then. No, it is to take a deeper dive so that you understand that this is a power that resides within you that you have to awaken. And once that power is awakened, you become the likeness of God on earth. And one of the powers of this is awakening your power to work with the oracle system, which is the Medunater, the great oracle of Tehuti, to communicate directly with the indwelling intelligence. See, there are different faculties within you that when you access the indwelling intelligence, there's the faculty of wisdom, there's this faculty of spiritual power, there's a faculty of truth, there's a faculty of justice, there's that faculty of logic and belief. And all these faculties reside within you, but you must cultivate a spiritual life in order to access that. But there are some of these powers that are immediately available to us. And that is gaining access to God's wisdom via the oracles. And this is why in our spiritual system, we work with the oracle system to pose a question and get an answer directly from the indwelling intelligence. We don't have to ask God outside of us. He's already inside of us. He placed his consciousness, his or her consciousness within us to have this experience. So if I have a question, and I say, for example, how will Biden do this fall? The answer is within me. All I have to do is to use a tool like the Oracle to go in there and to access it. And that tool, the Oracle, is really just a means and method to communicate with the God within me. Let me give you a visual representation of what I'm talking about, okay? So let's take a look at, for example, the Oracle system. I'll remove my keyboard here. I'm going to shuffle these cards and say the prayer. Hail to Huti, making victorious Asar over his enemies on the night of battle and the feathering of the Sabahu, day that destroying the enemies of Nebuchadnezzar, night that is making to stand, the Jet and Jetu. Salutation of power, Father, Mother, Supreme Being who comes as to Huti. Thanks for the words divine. My heart belongs to you. So let's ask that question. Now, I could fan these cards out up here so I can see them, but I don't want to do that because I don't want to see them because I want to allow, I want to allow the indwelling intelligence, Osiris, to be able to pick the answer for me. So what was the question? Well, how is Biden going to do this fall? So I picked the first card, and I've got Geb, to Ma'at, which is resources, money, health. So that's the first one, which is the situation we're facing. And the second card we'll pick, because the Oracle is telling us to pick another card, will tell us what factor is going to impact the health and the resources. And we got Haruka Huti Hetep. All right. So one may look at that and say there's going to be some conflict in the situation. And the conflict could be in regards to resources and health for Biden. All right. But the way I was able to do that was that I turned the cards down so I couldn't see them. And I'm going to note something that I didn't bring up or want to mention, but many times when you are shuffling cards, the indwelling intelligence, Osiris, will cause a card to kind of pop out. And that card holds significance. And the card that popped out before we went and actually did the reading was the Dark Deceased. And I don't want to get too much into that, but it does apply for Biden. It does apply. This doesn't apply, but that applies. But I won't go too much into that. But I want you to understand that, you know, this is not black magic. This is not the devil. This is a natural part of you. This is God residing within you, communicating through a tool. Nothing more. You see, the Christians call this, oh, this is the work of the devil. But they'll go and play 21 at Vegas. Well, isn't that the work of the devil? People all over the world, third world countries, are starving. Bad health. But yet, we're throwing money away in Vegas when that money could be used to help others in need. Isn't that the devil's work? You know what I'm saying? And Osiris is known as the great judge. So that means that only God can judge. We can go to the Oracle and ask a question about, please comment on people who come to Vegas and play the games and see what the Oracle says. We got a Wajet Atep. I'm sorry, not Atep. Tu Chayez, Wajet. And this is like deception, accidents, duplicity, secret dealings. And what's the other card? What does God have to say? Or what does Osiris have to say? Because Osiris wants us to pick another card. So we go and pick another card. And what do we got? Then we got Sekert. Not living with any structure and limitations. Just going and doing whatever. Sekert Tem also deals with underworld figures, liars, manipulators. So when you start looking at what the games in Vegas are set up to do, is it's set up to make you lose. The odds are always in the house's favor. But yet we are told that this means of communication is satanic or it's devil's work. But clearly the oracle is telling us that the real evil is in those games that are set up so that you can't win. So your money is best spent somewhere else, in a savings account, setting up programs for young starving children in third world countries. So this is just one aspect of Ausar. There's many aspects I could go into about Ausar. But for now, I want you to just get the understanding behind this, is that he is about that which you cannot perceive or see, because you can't see God. You know? Think about that. He is residing within you. And when we look at the tree of life, which is the makeup of who we are, it is a blueprint or a map that maps out the spirit containing all the faculties. Then we're actually getting into an owner's manual for us who we call humans. Because you're born and no one ever tells you how to operate, how to navigate in this world. You just go and stumble, make mistakes, get your ass beat, and then come back and say, life is hard. And that's true. But in ancient Kemet, you would be around your clan, and they would put you through initiation and train you on how to deal with the world. And part of that is an initiation and understanding of who you truly are, which is God on earth, but that God is within you. Now, finally, I have a test I want you to all engage in. This is to show you that Ausar really does exist within you. I want you to go to your bedroom or your bathroom late at night when no one's around to disturb you. Turn all the lights off in the room. And for 15 to 20 minutes, I want you to look at yourself in the mirror. You might light a candle, but make sure the room is dimly lit, and stare into your eyes in that mirror. And what you're going to see and experience is that there is something looking back at you, that there is a consciousness or a being inside of you. That's Ausar. That's the real you, not the physical body, not the Geb. That's the real you looking back at you, saying, hello, I'm in here. All right. So I want to thank you all for tuning into this broadcast. Okay. I hope it really resonates with you. And if we get an opportunity, we will do some more oracle readings as the election comes to see how the candidates will perform. All right. But until then, this is Qesankh Keperu, son of Ma'at Tahuti, Ma'at, the beautiful goddess Heteru. Until my next broadcast, I'm in Ra.